Hey guys, Jay here. So in this video today, I want to share with you guys my thought on what I would recommend as a lineup for a new player or free-to-play player. So this is not going to be a first week recommended lineup, right? That is different. In the first week, if you are free to play, chances are you cannot even have a full SSR plus hero like this one. Chances are you should be working with like 3 SSR heroes, and then the rest is just placeholder, whatever is the hero you have. For example, let's say you have Nami, Brook, those kind of hero. The SR, right? You can have Perona as well, Sanji, these kind of heroes. Early on in the first week or so, you can have them, but eventually in the first month, you should be moving forward to a team of, let's just say, all SSR heroes. Or sometimes if you still don't have the resources to invest into a support, this can be a Perona, right? Perona 10 star or something. It cannot be upgraded further, but eventually you should move it to an S plus or SSR plus. Anyway, the reason this is not a tier, by the way. I'm just using the tier list to just show the information because I can move in and out the heroes. But in general, I would like to say in this team comp, you should have at the very least 2 damage dealer, and one of them should be Mihawk. I think Mihawk hands down the best unit. I think NL is very close to Mihawk. However, there are other options that you can go for as well, and they are this guy. Let me just put it here. This guy, no, not this guy, and this guy. These are the heroes that, first of all, they are not rare faction heroes, so they are easier to upgrade than rare faction, and they deals a decent enough amount of damage. So NL is probably going to be the best one. Second, I think, is Kinemon, actually. And Luffy is very close to Kinemon. Luffy is slightly different from Kinemon in terms of how he function, but they serve kind of the same purpose. They are kind of bruiser, they have some single target damage, and they do have self-heal. Luffy is more consistent and probably is stronger early on, but Kinemon in the later stage of the game is going to be straight better than Luffy. Period. So early on, depending on what you get among these 4 heroes, I think you can use any of them. Any of them, right? NL is probably the best. Second, Kinemon. Third, Luffy. Fourth, Zoro. So any one of them is okay. Other than that, Mihawk plus 1 damage dealer. You should have a Shank. Shank, if I'm not mistaken, if there's nothing changed, you should have a Shank banner from day 3. And you need to spend your hard-earned diamond on the banner. Shank is going to make Mihawk and any other single target or normal attack from any heroes insanely more valuable because he has focused fire. And on top of that, even though he is a premium hero, you only need a 5-star copy to gain the best thing out of Shanks. Sure, if you upgrade him, he is insanely good as well. He deals a lot of damage. He is very resilient. It's not easy to die. He have a revive. He have damage block. Yada yada yada. But the main thing is he makes the team deals more damage, and he has the focused fire. So your team can focus down the highest attack target on the enemy. So you should have a 5-star Shank here. That is actually what I would recommend. Even though you are a free-to-play player, should try to have this guy. From day 3 to day 10, I believe, there will be a banner all the time for new server. So, Boa Hancock, this is a very good support CC unit for your team and specifically for Mihawk as well. Because Mihawk benefit a lot from petrification and charms. For each enemies with charm or petrification, Mihawk is going to gain 10% armor pen, up to 40%. So this is the only unit in the game that can do both. So you should have it. And petrification and charms are pretty much like hard CC. So it is also the defensive, more defensiveness for your team as well. So Boa Hancock, very good unit, very solid unit. She doesn't deal a lot of damage, but she has good CC. She makes Mihawk deals more damage. So very solid. And she is the opposite faction of every other recommendation. So that is a plus, right? So 1, 2, this is the secondary, first damage, secondary damage, Shanks, and Boa Hancock. So other 2 slot. 1 slot should be Jozu. Jozu is, I have put out a tier list video. I think Jozu is the best unit on the rare faction that you should be investing on. And by investing on, I mean like this. So what do I mean by investing on? So there are actually 2 shops in the game right now, and also some events that you can get shards of rare heroes. For example, Jozu here, he appeared in the hero shop, which is actually a very easy shop to get points. You get it from retirement, and you get a ton of it from retiring 3-star heroes. So eventually you get a few copies of this guy. You should not get it immediately in the first week or something. Maybe you get 1 or 2 copies if you are lucky. But in the course of a month, you should have enough to get him like to 9-star or something. So compared to your other heroes, he should not be that far off. And he is, first of all, very tanky. Second, he actually deals a respectable amount of damage as a tanker. And third, he takes the damage for your main attacker in the team, for your highest attack unit. So he is sort of a direct counter to Shank's effect. Not as hard as Sengoku, but insane unit overall. I think he is S tier, without a doubt. So, best unit to invest in. He have the hero shop here, and also in the faction shop. I would recommend you to go for Jozu. So, that out of the way. Jozu, main tanker, right? I would do this. And then the last slot. There's a lot of options. Normally, I would like to go for a support. It can be Ivankov here. It actually can even be Perona. Perona is actually a very good unit, a very cheap unit. She is a SR unit, not SSR. So the maximum you can get her to is gold 0 or 10-star, if you may. You can use her in here, but Ivankov is going to be a significant upgrade. Eventually, this slot is going to be Marco, but there's a very long story later, especially for free-to-play player, because you need to invest in Jozu first, not Marco first. Nobody can replace Jozu, but at least Ivankov can kind of replace Marco in the role. So we put, let's just say Ivankov here. You also have the option to do a couple of other things. First of all, you can put another damage hero in here. That is going to be very good as well. Any of these guys in here is good. Don't get me wrong. You don't need a support in the team. I just prefer a support in the team, right? Or you can also use Doflamingo. Doflamingo is like a CC bot. So with Doflamingo and Boa, your team actually have very solid CC. The problem is for a free-to-play player, right? I would not highly recommend you to aim your focus or your priority into PvP. That is why PvE is better. You should get more reward from PvE than PvP. Reward from PvE, where do you get it? Well, friend, you get it from boss damage ranking, mostly, and then some of the content as well. So personally, I think Kinemon is probably the best thing that you can put in here, or Luffy. These 2 units, if you can put it in here, they will help you with single target, so they will help you with damage, right? So overall, this is probably going to be the most balanced team for the first month if you are a free-to-play player. You can also have some options for secondary damage, or you can even have 3 damage dealers in a team. You can even have this guy kind of team. This kind of team is actually very good. Kinemon, by the way, if you have Kinemon in the team, make sure you put him front line. Make sure you put him as the unit to take as many hits as possible. Kinemon synergize really well with that. So Those are my opinion and my recommendation for a newbie friendly, free to play friendly team. Personal opinion, there's quite a lot of options. You don't need to lock into one single formation. If you actually focus on like the just the PvE, I think this is probably the best bet. What is on the screen right now is probably the best thing that you can go for. You know what? This is even better for like PvE because you literally have a lot of damage, just a lot of damage, right? For PvE. And also still do pretty good in PvP. Not the worst, but not the best either. Is like an average team for PvP because it's not very balanced. But if you want a more balanced, ideally, in my opinion, just my opinion, this is probably the team I am the most happy with. If I'm if I restart, if I just get a new account in a new server. So probably I will aim for this kind of team. I think this is going to be the best. But if I have, for example, if I don't randomly summon like a few copies of NL, instead I just get a bunch of Kinemon. I would just go for Kinemon. There is no, or for example, if for some reason you don't have any freaking Mihawk, you can just go for things like this. Obviously, it's not as good, but just make the best out of what you get, right? So the damage dealer is interchangeable. The best one is going to be NL and then Mihawk and then NL, but any of these guys is okay, right? Zoro, for PvE, for damage ranking, he is not as good, so probably I would say Kinemon and Luffy better, right? I'm not going to mention the rare faction units because for a free-to-play player, I don't think you have sufficient resources to actually upgrade more than one unit, at least in the first month or maybe even 2 months. You should not be able to fully upgrade one single unit. I think it will take the course of action should be around 3 months if you really focus on upgrading one rare faction unit that is purchasable through the shops. You can do Jozu, I think. Probably that is like the most applicable. And if you have as a unit, he's not going to be as strong. So if you go all in into one unit. Rare faction is rare. The name said it already. So don't try to do all over the place. So for example, you are focusing on upgrading Jozu, you happen to have like 3 aces copy, and then you, okay, I have 3 aces. I should go for ace, right? No, 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 no. Focus on one hero. Then you think about the next. All right. Same stories goes here. So yeah. Actually, that only apply for the rare faction. Same story goes here means you should prioritize finish and upgrade first because this game actually locked you down in a sense that you need to kind of even out your upgrade. You need 4 heroes with certain level to unlock the next ascension. So yeah, anyway, we want to upgrade our damage dealers. So if one dies from Shank's focused fire by enemy teams, you still have another damage dealer, right? Or yeah. Hey, so anyway, thanks for watching. That is my opinion on that topic, the free-to-play recommended lineup. So peace.